the other side of the table, so I think we're ready to start. So we have our check-in up here. Who would like to start tonight? Okay, go ahead, Rob.
Well, let me just say, welcome to 24-25 TALC bargaining. Looks like some familiar faces, some unfamiliar faces, but here we are. So I'm Robert Dodig, I'm the Chief Negotiator for the school district. I am well, I have no time constraints. Heather Leonard is missing tonight, she will not be with us. I have no elephants, and I would expect that we make progress tonight.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Brinkley, Coordinator, Compensation Labor Relations. I'm doing well. No time constraints, missing has been noted, no elephants, expectations. I'll go with what Rob said, make progress.
Afternoon, my name is Amy Desmore, the Chief Financial Officer. Doing well, no time constraints, no elephants, and my expectations are that we get off to a good start.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Kelfie. I'm the Director of Payroll. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints, missing noted, and no elephants, and my expectation is to get a good start.
Hello, I'm Carl Burnside. Doing fine. Principal at Dunbar High School, still. No time constraints. Who's missing, I think has been noted at least on this side of the table. No elephants. Expectations, yeah, get off to a good start.
Hello, I'm Mike A. Wood, Director of Internal Auditing. I'm doing great. I have no time constraints. Missings noted, no elephants. Expectation, get off to a good start.
Good afternoon, Mike Robichaud. I'm the Director of Insurance and Benefits. I'm doing well, no time constraints. Missing is noted, no elephants in the room, and to make progress.
Good afternoon, I'm Ben. I'm the principal of Bayshore. I'm doing great. I have no time constraints. Missing noted up there, no elephants, and expectations, make progress.
Hi, I'm Shannon Johnston. I'm doing great tonight. I do have to leave at 5:45. Missing has been noted, no elephants, and expectations is to make progress.
Jessica Duncan, Executive Director of Student Services. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints. Missing is noted, no elephant, and my expectation is to make progress.
Course McIntosh, Assistant School Board Attorney. I'm doing well, no time restraints, missing has been noted, and no elephants. And my expectation is to lay the foundation for a great start.
Good evening, I am Helen Martin. I'm the Director of Professional Development. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints, missing has been noted. I have no elephants, and expectations get off to a good start.
Hi, Ann Cole. I'm the principal at Coosa Middle School. I am well. I don't have any time constraints. Missing has been noted. No elephants, and expectations are to get off to a good start.
All right, thank you. Kerr, you want to start?
Sure. I'm Kerr Fazone, Director, Teachers Association of Lee County, Chief Negotiator. I'm fine, no time constraint. Missing Heather Rodriguez Wibbles. Heather's are missing. No elephants, and I will go with get off to a good start.
Good evening, my name is Kevin Daly. I'm the President of the Teachers Association of Lee County. I am fine. No time constraints, missing is noted, no elephants. And we'll go with get off to a good start, please.
Hi, I'm Jill Castellano. I am a teacher at Cypress Lake Middle School, and I am also the Vice President of TALC. I'm doing quite well. I have no time constraints outside of our scheduled window of time. I believe our missing has been noted. I don't have any elephants, and my expectation is off to a good start.
Hello, my name is Anna Witten. I am a 4th grade teacher at Franklin Park Elementary, as well as the secretary for TALC. I am doing well. I have no time constraints, missing's been noted, no elephants, and my expectation is to complete everything on the agenda.
Good afternoon. My name is Shay Pearson. I am the testing coordinator at Island Coast High School, and I'm also the TALC treasurer. I am doing okay. Missing has been noted. I have no time constraints. I have no elephants, and I will go with get off to a good start.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Amy Johnson. I am a teacher at Mariner Middle School. I am doing well. I have no time constraints. Missing's noted, no elephants, and I agree with off to a good start.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Iris Grimaldi. I'm a school social worker, and I am doing well today. I have no time constraints. Missing have been noted, no elephants, and my expectations are to get off to a great start.
Good afternoon, I'm Christina Starrett. I am doing well. I'm a K-5 art teacher at Tortuga Preserve Elementary. No time constraints, missing's noted, no elephants, and expectations. A good start, please.
Good evening, my name is Louis Fisher. I'm the director of bands at Gateway High School. I'm doing fine, have no time constraints, missing has been noted, no elephants, and my expectation is to complete the agenda.
Good afternoon, my name is LaShonda Hutchins Cologne. I'm the grades 3 through 5 math coach at Franklin Park / 4th grade teacher. I am well tonight. No time constraints, missing is noted, no elephants, and my expectation is to get off to a good start.
Good evening, Mario Doristal, Suffolk Myers High School mathematics teacher. I have no time constraint, doing well. Missing's noted, no elephants, and what she said, my expectations.
All right, I think we got everybody. Thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is to do norms. So we need to set some norms for the way we want to work throughout this process. And does anybody have one they want to put up? Kevin?
Begin and end on time, please.
Anybody else? Christina? Kevin will bring the mic around.
Receive the minutes early enough we can read them before the meeting begins.
Oh, that's perfect, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Rob?
I just want to speak to that quickly.
Sure.
The hope is that will happen. However, Compensation and Labor Relations does not currently have a secretary. So more than likely myself, Teresa, and Elizabeth will be doing the minutes. So I ask you to bear with us, at least in the beginning, till we can get on a rhythm and a cadence for doing those, and read them extra close. So, sorry, Donna.
All right, that's all right. Thank you, Rob. An explanation is always helpful. Sure.
I'd like to be able to read them before I get in here.
All right.
Oh, next minutes, I'm sorry, next meeting.
All right, anything else? Iris?
Be present and engage.
Right to the mic. Thank you.
Be present and engaged.
Thank you.
Can I give you another one?
Sure.
Transparency.
Okay, want to pass it to LaShonda and then pass it up to Jill.
Stay on topic.
Issues, not individuals.
Okay. Anything else? Anna?
Assume good intentions.
Anything else? Jill?
Respect the interest-based process.
Thank you. Would you pass it down to Amy, please?
A very important one, restroom breaks when appropriate.
Of course, anybody can get up when needed without a hall pass.
Or calling the office for coverage.
Or calling the office for coverage, exactly. Kerr, want to pass it down to Kerr, please?
I've got two.
Okay.
Limit sidebars and silent cell phones.
Okay, anything else? All right, remember we can always add to these norms if you don't have anything else. Jill, another one?
I have two.
Okay.
When you're ready, Amy, just let me know.
Okay, go ahead. Are they long?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Maintain confidentiality. And object at the table.
Rob?
Yeah, Jill, I hate to do this to you in the first 20 minutes, but it's a public meeting. How are we supposed to maintain confidentiality? What are you talking about? Did you put that up there?
No, but I think I can answer for it. We've met as a team. I mean, this has been a norm that we've had for years. Just sometimes you can speak about an issue without naming a name, a place, a thing, and yeah, in those aspects.
Okay. Anything else? Anna?
Time at the table to be valued and respected.
Okay. Do we have something similar to that up there? If not, that's fine. Squeeze it
Be
in.
respectful? Does that work, or do you want me to say time at the table? Respect the time at the table? Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, as I said, we can add at any time. And I did, before we go to the next item on the agenda, forgot to have facilitators introduce themselves. So, go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
I'm Mark, and I'm here, the assistant principal from Veterans Park Academy for the Arts. I have, do I need to go through it?
Yep, go through the whole thing.
Okay. I have no time constraints, missing is noted. There's no room, my expectation would be get off to a good start.
And I'm Amy French. I am the coordinator of the professional development department. I am doing very well. I do not have any time constraint. The three of us are here, we're good. We do not have any elephants, and my expectations are also to help you meet your expectations.
All right, and good afternoon. I'm Donna Mutzenard. I'm doing well. I have no time constraints, and my expectations is to help you get off to a good start.
Who do you represent?
I don't represent anybody. Okay. So next on the agenda is the calendar. And we have, of course, tonight's meeting, and I believe we have the next one scheduled for February 22nd? 26th. So, Kevin.
I believe the assumption is we're going to do the every other week thing until we no longer have to do anything anymore. So every other Monday from 4 to 7, right here.
Rob?
Yeah, I have no disagreement with that. However, we're kind of learning through the years on how things sometimes turn out. And I know there's some desire to finish this bargaining session before the end of the school year. And so we're asking, you don't have to tell us today, if we could potentially know when a drop dead date for you all to get ratification done would fall. And that would be helpful to some of my team members here that are involved in the implementation stage of, and I know I'm putting the cart way before the horse, but thinking positively, thinking backwards, kind of.
Backwards planning.
Kirk.
I'm just.
On their common board.
Yes, it is.
So I'm just kind of thinking on the fly here. I would say the drop dead last week for the TALC bargaining unit to vote would be the week of the 27th, which I'm thinking is, yeah, May, thank you. I guess you need to know what month.
Yeah.
I believe the 27th is Memorial Day, so it would be that week, which would mean the TA would have to be in employees' hands no later than the 20th. Makes me a little uncomfortable. I would say the 17th would probably be the best date for the TA to go out to the bargaining unit.
Okay.
I really appreciate, this is too loud. I really appreciate that, Kurt, thank you.
Okay.
May 20th,
May 17th.
17th, yes.
So our goal date to be done to be like April 30th.
Okay. Anything else on calendar? And I know once in a while we get some glitches and we have to make adjustments in the calendar, but this is what we'll work with at this point. So is everybody okay with this process for the calendar? May I see thumbs, please? All right, calendar's done. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is an overview of the interest-based process, and I don't see any new faces on TALC's team. And I know most of you on the district's team have been here, even if you came in towards the end of our sessions last year, but you've all experienced the process. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time. This is more for the people out there than it is for, I think, most of the people in here. We've already started the process. We do a check-in every time, just so everybody knows who's at the table, why somebody might have, if somebody has to leave early so no one thinks they're getting up and because they're angry about something we've talked about and storming out of the room. So we want everything up front. If people are missing, we want to know who's missing because we want to honor the people who are not able to be here even though they're not here. And that's pretty much why we do check-in, and to just get our mindset in here, in this room, doing the job in here. After check-in, of course, well, this meeting we did norms. Those norms will be posted every meeting. And as I said earlier, we can add to them if necessary. And that's what we're going to live by in here. Now, we know that sometimes things happen. We can't always start on time, but we'll do the best we can to start on time every session. And whenever we think we're going to go late, we always get the approval of everybody here at the table to go maybe a little bit extra if we're just trying to wrap up one topic or one thing. After that, tonight we're going to do, and we only do this at our first meeting, we're going to do snapshots. Both teams have met with each other. They know what articles they want to open. Remember, this is a reopener of the contract, so we're not doing every single article in the contract. Of course, compensation's always included. And when we get to that, each team will say what article they would like to open, and we'll do what's called a snapshot. One page gives a brief. Remember, when we do the snapshot, your stories, part of the story is not detailed, it's just a little snippet of why we're looking at that article. And then we will do interest. The interests are why we want to look at this particular item, why it might need to be changed in the contract. And interest, we keep the snapshots every time we go to something, so we have those interests. Interests are like norms, you can add to them at any point when we're talking about that particular area of the contract. And then the last thing we do on the snapshot is if there's data that you're going to need, or data, however you pronounce it, that you may need to make an informed decision about that particular item on the contract. So that's our snapshots. We'll be working on those tonight. I think from what I know, we'll probably get all those finished tonight. And then our checkout, sometimes we do a checkout, sometimes we don't. So we'll just kind of play that one by ear. And then that's about the process. So remember, story tonight is just little snippets. Story, when we get to the actual article, can be elongated and you can give more details to the story.
Donna, why don't we write it down on paper, not on computers?
Oh, good question, Amy. One of the reasons that it's done on the chart paper, and I know it's slower than somebody typing it into a computer, is that everybody in the room is looking at the same thing at the same time without their eyes down at a computer. It allows us to look at one another. It allows us to have this up front at all times. So these are all posted up here tonight, and if anybody can just look at it and see what's going on. Minutes, of course, are done on the computer, and the charts are also part of the minutes. All right. So now we are ready to begin. Who wants to go? Rob?
Yeah, and of course, I'm going to ask you to kind of defer from snapshots for a minute.
Okay.
Over the last couple of weeks, we have had conversations with leadership for TALC about Article 5.07, which is there's a provision in the contract that is antiquated regarding pre-employment physicals. And we are asking that TALC agree to the removal of that language and replacing it with language around the Americans with Disability Act that's in our other salary schedules. We are no longer requiring new teachers to undergo a pre-employment physical in the effort to expedite hiring and to eliminate a cost for those folks before they're employed. So we have some agreement with leadership, and I know I'm sort of not doing a snapshot, but this is sort of an outside the snapshot type of thing that we would like to implement in an emergency fashion right now. Yeah.
I'll do the action.
All right, we'll give Amy a chance to write that down.
I'm sorry.
Sure, Article 5.07. Delete language.
We replaced with ADA language.
That's already placed in the other.
They have the language. Donna, Kevin had a say.
Okay, I'm good. Good, Kevin's gonna go turn it down. Okay.
Perfect, thank you. Is there any way you guys can just throw that up so everybody can see it that way?
Yes.
I mean, really, it is kind of one of those things where it will make the hiring process quicker and will also save an employee a couple of bucks. And we didn't want to do an MOU because we were here anyway on first night and could probably get quick agreement. First orange circle.
All right, Rob, just want to speak into your mic, see if it's better now that Kevin.
Test, test. 1, 2, still loud.
Try again. Give it a try again, please.
Testing, testing, testing. It's a little bit better.
It's a little better, but not. I know people back there were having trouble. You can't hear anything?
It's
It's too loud, okay. All right, try.
Yeah, so this was the proposed MOU.
Better?
So the language would be replaced with the italicized language, which is part of the SPALC contract, admin, and N. It essentially had been overlooked in the TALC contract.
Correct.
Can you zoom in just a little bit? And that's all I was going to say was this has been overlooked. It's currently in the other 3 contracts, admins, in and SPALC. So this should have been changed a while back, especially since the TB tests and physicals are no longer required.
That's better.
SHE.
There you
That's
go.
great, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll give you a second to read that. Any questions on that language? Gee, that's a surprise.
We're self-reporting.
All right, nothing else? Anything else to add? No. Is everybody okay with this? Can we see thumbs up to make sure? All right. Great. It is a wonderful start. All right. So now let's get back to snapshots. Unless there's something else. All right, who wants to start with snapshots? Kurt?
So one of the articles that TALC is opening will be Article 5, General Employment Practices. And one of the items is, well, I can scratch off the 5.07 ADA. One thing we would like to discuss is some language related to our members at the Lee Virtual School. To keep it kind of short and sweet, just there are some special circumstances at the virtual school, and we would like to discuss some contract language tailored specifically to that school.
Okay, anything else for Article 5?
Sure. We would like to discuss a timeline for mid-year transfers. Like to have some discussion around TALC bargaining unit staff dress code. And one other thing, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but if There's a bill in the Florida legislature right now that may free up constraints around awarding annual contracts again for annual contract teachers. And if that bill passes, we should still be bargaining while session's on. So if that bill passes, we would like to jump on offering extended contracts for annual contract teachers.
Okay, anything else on Article 5?
No, sorry.
Okay, interest. Go ahead, Kurt.
So I have two so far. If any of my team wants to jump in, that's fine. Staff morale and employee retention.
Any other interest for Article 5? Rob?
Well, I mean, one of them would be if the legislature does pass a bill and it's signed into law, is there something we have to do to comply with the law? So compliance potentially. I think, and these are different depending on the topic, like the timeline for mid-year transfers, I'm trying to think of potentially the administration of that. So what do we typically call that?
Manageability.
Manageability, thank you.
Okay, manageability. Yep. Anything else? All right, does anybody else have any story to add? Rob, any other story? Do you have anything on Article 5 since it's been open?
We don't.
Okay. Okay.
Since we're on Snap, I have a data request. I would like to see the dress codes from all the school handbooks. Please. Yes, for teachers, yes.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Rob?
I was just gonna say, so would I.
All right, anything else on Article 5? Okay, put Article 5 up. Any other articles? Or Rob?
Yeah, Article 2, which is rights, privileges, and responsibilities. It's more of a housekeeping, and I'll wait for Amy.
Yep, thank you.
Oh, you're good. So, after last legislative session, the governor signed into law the mandate that we can no longer deduct dues from teachers' pay. So that language needs to be removed from the collective bargaining agreement that, in essence, has required us to do that. We did sign a letter of, I guess, understanding that that language would not currently be implemented with, and in that letter it says we would discuss that in bargaining starting in February. So that's the interest of the district to comply with the law.
Okay, so we have story and an interest. Yep. Anything else in Article 2, Rob, other than that?
That's it.
Anybody?
Nothing else.
Nothing to add for 2? All right, that's short and sweet. Any data requests? All right. Do you have another one? Anybody else? articles each. Rob?
Yeah, we do. We have Article 7, and basically our interest here, I'll just start with that, is student achievement. And we have a desire, albeit there is no language in the contract that discusses or talks about the length of a student day. However, we would like to collaborate with TALC to increase the amount of student time with teachers at middle and high school. We are currently...
Okay, hold it just a second. Let Mark catch up here.
Increased.
No, that goes about what the story is the next. Yep, that, Rob did it, interest in that story, so.
Increased time.
Increased student time. In school at middle and high. Okay, Rob.
Yeah.
I want to make it clear that we are not talking about a longer teacher day at this point. That is not what this is about. This is about more student time with teachers under their current schedule. So just so you know, currently at the middle school, the student day is 6.25 hours a day. And at the high school, it's 6.5 hours a day. Adding 30 minutes to a student day would equal 14.79 additional instructional days a year. So that is part of the snapshot. That's all I'm gonna really say right now. But I will also include that we are last out of the Big Ten school districts in student time with teachers at middle school and high school.
Okay.
So this is an interest of the district.
All right, so you want to give those times again, so Mark can get the time of hours per day for middle school?
Middle school is 6.25 hours. The student day, not the teacher day. Yeah.
Yeah, high school?
6.5.
Okay, and what other numbers did you?
So 30 minutes to a student day
Adding 30 minutes.
equals 14.79 additional instructional days in a school year.
14.79 additional instructional days.
Thank you. Yep.
You're welcome. Okay. Instructional days. Okay, we have student achievement as an interest. Anything else? Or anything else for the story?
Well, I was just going to tell you that I have data so we can put it up there.
Okay.
I have the school grade data for the top 10 districts in Collier County and the amount of teacher hours per day in those districts also that we'll share when we get to the story.
Top 10 districts plus Collier. And teacher days, right? Or length of student days.
Teacher hours per day.
Teacher hours per day.
And the student days.
Yeah, teacher and student hours per day, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, anything else, Rob?
Article 7, no.
Okay, anything over here? Jill?
I have a question for Rob.
Okay.
Rob, you mentioned the high school and the middle school. Do you have the time for the elementary? Like,
How many hours per day?
Yeah, because are we looking to add the 30 minutes only at the middle and high or elementary? I'm just trying to clarify to make sure I understand what we're talking about, that's all.
Middle and high.
Middle and high only.
Yes.
All right, Kurt?
I have,
You might need more paper.
I have 4 things.
Do a 9 page. Okay. All right, 4 things, yes, we'll set up a new page.
Jill's got a data request.
Oh, I don't know if we have room, we might have to do that on the other sheet too.
We'll keep it going on this. We're good.
So just tell me when you're ready.
Yep. Will do.
So I believe Rob mentioned that he already has data for the number of hours the teachers in the top 10 districts. Or we're the only one in the top 10 that has the least amount of student contact hours, I believe. Can we also see the salary bands in those districts as well? Like, so we can compare how many hours and what their salaries are?
Okay, so this is
Salary, because David's salary.
salary, goes under David. Salary for the 10 districts, that's plus cost. Okay. Kurt?
So these 2 things go together, related to our friends that teach at Department of Juvenile Justice. We would like to just simply enshrine 2 practices into the CBA that's been happening. We'd like to enshrine the DJJ calendar committee into the contract. And we'd like to, DJJ, Department of Juvenile Justice.
And what was the second thing besides the calendar committee?
Just enshrine a line that says they get in-service and professional duty days, just like all other teachers, yes. And the other 2 things go together as well whenever you're ready.
Okay, go ahead.
So we would like to look at the lunch period set in Article 7.01. We would like to move the lunch period to 40 minutes.
That's part of the story, right?
I'm sorry, move lunch to 40 minutes.
Move lunches to 40 minutes, it's in 7.01. And we would also like to discuss moving to a paid 8-hour day, not just extending the student contact time, but actually extending and paying for an 8-hour day.
Okay,
That's all I have.
that's it. Kevin?
And maybe this belongs on the night we discuss it, but when ESSER money first became available, the district had a desire to move to a paid 8-hour day. So this is data requests / a little bit of story. So we of course need the cost of that. And we also need kind of to know what the district was gonna do if we had done it during ESSER. And as we all know, ESSER money is running out, how they were gonna fund it afterwards. I'm talking really fast, aren't I?
Okay, that would be cost of the 8-hour day.
And cost, but you said something about cost with ESSER or?
That could be, they're gonna point you to the other side, there you go. Because they offered it when ESSER first came out, and they must have had a plan for sustainability, so kind of, and that is related to the cost, so just kind of wondering that too.
Okay, anything else for Article 7 story? Rob, anything for Article 7 story?
Story or snapshot?
Well, snapshot, story under snapshot. Okay, interest. Jill?
Employee morale.
Student achievement's up there, right? I started off by saying.
Yeah, that's up on the other page. Yeah, student achievement is up there. We have, on the other page, oh, that's all we have is student achievement on the other page. Yes, Rob.
I think it's important in this choice environment, competitiveness.
All right, Jill?
Employee retention.
Rob? Anything? Okay. Anybody else? Jill?
Mental health. I have a couple, so.
Okay.
You just tell me when you're ready.
Go ahead.
Equity. Work-life balance.
Consistency.
And by consistency, do you mean within the district, with other districts, with, or just consistency with everything? Everybody?
I would say, you know, for some things, consistency in the district, but then comparing to other districts or even to other professionals. Like if you think about a 25-minute lunch, that's not a typical lunchtime for other working professionals.
Okay.
So when we compare it to what another person with a bachelor's or master's degree would get at their job.
All right, so we'll just leave it as consistency then, because it's going to cover a number of areas. Well, that was one of them, yeah. You can leave that up there. Rob?
So I'm assuming one like mental health could mean it's an interest for students also, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody else? Any interest? Any more story or any more data requests? All right, then we'll move on from Article 7. Are we ready to do a snapshot for compensation this evening?
We also have our second article relevant.
Oh, do you have another article? I'm sorry, go ahead.
The TALC second article, we'd like to open Article 15, duration and acceptance.
Okay. Go ahead.
And
Story? Why are you opening it?
we'd just like to extend the dates of the contract, like we have done in years past. So I guess this would go from, we'd like to bargain this contract from FY25 to FY27.
Okay. Anything else to this? Yes, Kevin.
This is a little bit of story, but my first bargaining session as president, the previous president gifted me full book.
Yes, he did.
And I would like to never possibly gift that to anyone ever in the future. So it's a little bit selfish, but it's also a little bit, it takes a minute to figure this out. So yeah, we can pop it out another year, that'd be great.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I hate using the phrase elephant in the room, but there is a little elephant in the room with a long-term contract, which is your impending certification in August. So just wanted in the snapshot, hopeful that everything works out wonderful, but I'm just, it's there.
We haven't been decertified yet.
Definitely.
So Donna, in that
Thinking
vein,
positively.
I think we have an interest of stability.
Okay.
The CBA provides a lot of stability in the school district. And there is an argument to be made that regardless of what PERC does, we still work under the terms of the collective bargaining agreement.
Rod?
No disagreement, and along those lines, I think it makes it manageable. So manageability is an interest.
Okay. Anything else for story or interest on Article 15? Yes, you did. All right, with that, both sides have had 2 articles open. Anna? Don't take it down yet.
I just want to add staff morale and staff retention.
Okay, anything else? All right. Are we doing compensation, Article 10? Snapshot, Article 10. Is it about that, or do you?
We may have similar.
Okay.
I was just going to put a list of things up there.
Okay, let Mark get it set up here. Okay, go.
First thing is supplements.
No, supplements is a story.
And then I'll be specific. One of them is we have an interest in an increase in the number of safety supplements in addition to what we've already done under the MOU for the, what are they called? The security devices. OBE, thank you.
Oh.
Yes, Donna, not something you've had to
No.
experience.
Nothing I had to deal with.
We would like to talk about the youth mental health allocation for the folks that have to take the youth mental health training and how teachers are paid for that.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
We need to discuss, it's under differential pay, but it's the turnaround pay.
Okay.
And then we have some language that was mistakenly deleted a number of years ago regarding out-of-state experience. I know Kurt's looking at me. We'd like to look at putting that back in.
Okay.
All right, I'm good for now. Obviously, we'll talk about salary, but.
Right. Kurt? That's on my list.
While we're talking about supplements, we have a couple to add. We would like to increase the longevity supplement. When we first started looking at this, the idea was get the largest supplement to $10,000.
Yeah.
We would also like.
Hold on a sec.
Okay, thank you.
Increase
To 10,000 for the, I think it's 20 years.
hearing. Okay, Amy's setting up so we can switch story over to there. All right, go ahead, Kirk.
We would like to discuss differentiating the ESE supplement by service delivery model.
Just clarification on something.
I said 20 is 30, right? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
30 years?
Yes, 30 years. I said 20, my mistake. Wasn't trying to sneak it in there, but that would have been a really good move. And lastly, with supplements, we would like to go ahead and solve the turnaround school supplement for special instructional. Just make sure that they get it if they're at the school.
Yeah, whenever Amy's ready.
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh.
So continuing down the supplement road, just in general, supplements are no longer worth the squeeze, so some attention to all the supplements in general. Also, the supplements for the employees on the special instructional, kind of a look at those to move to maybe some kind of equalization.
Okay.
Ensuring that all the schools listed as special center schools get the special center money.
Is this part of that equalization one, or is it?
It's separate.
Okay.
It's special instructional, or, yeah, special center schools is a different list of schools that may or may not have members of the special instructional unit on it, because we like to name stuff that's the same.
So special center schools,
All the schools on the list, make sure they're getting the $4,000, I believe. And so really my final conversation piece here is we are looking at spending a lot of money here. And so I say this all the time, one of the things we did really well with healthcare is we made healthcare its own pot of money. Since we have made healthcare its own pot of money, we no longer sit up here and argue about what kind of raise you're gonna get versus what your premiums on your healthcare are gonna do. So we really need to have, again, the idea that supplements need to be a separate pile of money and not impact bargaining authority. Because the move to make sure that all the center schools get the center school $4,000 is a $400,000 ask. This is a lot of money on supplements. And it can't be the year of the supplement and the year of no raise. So, yeah, I think that was it for supplements, right? Yeah.
Is that it for supplements? Okay.
For now.
Okay.
Yeah, just a question for Kevin, so people understand. When you say special center schools, you would be adding potentially which schools?
I believe the only two that are listed as special centers and not on the list are technical colleges, so FMTC and CCTC. And I believe for an interest that might help in recruitment and retention, because I know when you're going after a welder or a nurse or an HVAC person, the school district really can't come close to what they would make in the private sector. So it's also an interest of recruitment and retention for that group over there, not to like skip way ahead.
Okay, and so we need to add, of course, salary on this. This has been all about supplements up until now, and salary is still part. Okay. No, just write salary. Kevin.
I have something that doesn't necessarily need to be written down and could be construed as an option, but this is night one. So I think we need to have and don't like anybody's head explode over there. I think we need to have a really aggressive attitude towards salary. And please hear me out before you think, oh my God, Kevin's just bringing back compression. So I would like to see the idea of a plan that moves the base salary, but also spreads it through to everybody else. So if we move the base salary 4, everybody else gets 4 as an offset, and we have like a 3-year plan to move us to at least $62,000 base salary, and then raises on top of that, and then fixing the supplement. That's a boatload of money, but we gotta get serious about this. I say this about our recruitment teams that go out. They are at an absolute disadvantage the moment they walk into the room. Teach in Lee County, it's 50, Charlotte's 54, Collier's at least that, even Hendry is more than us. So we're gonna have to make some kind of commitment, whether it's going out and asking for the millage to offset $7,000 of this, or if it's reworking the way we look at the books. We're gonna have to be really aggressive. So I know we don't have bargaining authority, and I know we don't usually talk about salaries until we get it, but this for me is so different that I wanted to bring it up tonight so that when you get in discussions with the board, there's this idea around we really want to have this aggressive base pay pass throughout the pay scale to everybody so there is no compression, and then raises on top of that every year so that we can set the standard for the other 67 counties, 69 if you count deaf and blind and the state DJJ stuff, but the other 66 counties around the state, we can set the standard for what compensation looks like. So that, I think, is what I was, that's Kurt's telling me I'm good. All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Any more story? Go ahead.
Everybody's favorite topic.
Yeah.
The coverage of the classes.
Class coverage.
I'll put it down at the bottom.
Okay. Anything else? Rob?
On that one, planning our class coverage, you can just put Kelly up there. Kelly Services is starting on the 26th of February, administering our guest teachers, and they have at least 300 new individuals in the pipeline, that on top of the 700 we already have. So we are hopeful that they will help our class coverage issue with guest teachers.
Okay.
As your predecessor once told me, hope is not a strategy.
Okay, how about interest for all of this? Yeah, Jessica?
Just for a point of clarification on the special center schools, on our district site, it's listed as special centers and there's 13 sites, so I just wanted to make sure during the conversation that that's, so if you look under our schools, there's a specific tab for special centers, so just when that conversation, just for clarification.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, so there's 13 schools. Just put that there, then we'll get it, yeah. Okay, thank you, Jessica. Anything else? All right, let's go with interest then. Anybody want to start? We have one interest already up, recruitment and retention. Yes.
So are we done with, sorry?
I didn't see hands.
Like the union, we want to discuss compression also. So.
Okay. Can you add it? Because Mark has a little bit of space. Okay, you can add it. Compression of salary schedule. Okay. All right, Jill.
I was gonna put up some interest.
Okay.
Because I believe it says employee, was it retention and morale? Okay, I just can't see that far.
Recruitment and retention, it says.
Recruitment and retention, okay, I can't see that far. Employee morale. Manageability. Ratifiability. Maybe someone is vacuuming. It sounds like someone's vacuuming. That's what we keep hearing. That's all.
It's out here, yeah, it's HVAC, I think, outside.
Equity. Compliance. And competitiveness.
All right, Rob?
Go ahead, I was going to throw one more.
I was just going to put up affordability, manageability.
Affordability. Yeah, manageability. You got it?
I already have it.
Oh, you have it up there? Okay.
And I want to add student achievement, because I feel if we recruit and retain the best and keep them happy, students will achieve better naturally. So student achievement, please.
Okay. I see Iris' hand up.
Where's my dollar?
Transparency.
Okay, anything else? Any other interests for Article 10? Any data requests for Article 10? Kerr?
So this one's a little weird, but some of our employees generate billable hours for Medicaid. I'm curious where that money goes and how much money those folks generate, say like on average for a year.
So data requests is Medicaid billable hours?
Yep, some of our special instructional folks can bill Medicaid for services that they render. I'm curious where that money goes.
All right, Anna? Oh, all right, yeah.
Yeah, so Kerr, you want to know where the money goes, so, I mean, that may just simply be an answer. It goes to the general fund, or are you looking for data?
I guess I'm looking for data. I'd like to know how much as well. And I mean, I'll be very transparent here. In some of our other districts, the folks that generate Medicaid billable hours get a bonus at the end of the year, some cut of the dollars that they generate. So I'm curious exactly, I guess, how many dollars we generate and what happens to that money. If it goes to the general fund, that's where it goes.
Okay. Okay, now Ann.
The results and information from the salary study, is there a date for that to be concluded, and when will we have that information available to us?
Go ahead, Rob.
There was a group of folks that went before instructional personnel, so support staff, salary schedule and SPALC, admin, in some respects. So we will be receiving hopefully data for those groups in March, at least the beginning of the receipt of data. I have not heard and do not know, and I will find out because teachers just spoke to these folks last week, I think. So I'm not certain exactly when that information would be available. I'm assuming during this bargaining session. That's all I can say.
All right, thanks. Anna.
I just want to clarify, but the intent is for us to have that information prior to conversations with compensation. No?
No, I think it was more critical for SPALC than for the teachers.
All right, anything else, Kevin?
So I'll just do a general interest, and it's going to sound strange to put up there, but respect for the interest-based process is an interest. We have committees, like the turnaround committee, that really has not met in any meaningful fashion. And so, we have all these wonderful committees that do great work, and typically they bring forward recommendations. And so before we get too deep into turnaround, I would want them to meet a few times and maybe have a recommendation, please. So respect for the interest-based process.
And should I put like, subcommittee?
Bargaining subcommittees, however you want to do it.
Carl?
Okay, regarding interest, sustainability,
Okay.
and I've been processing this in my head, viability.
What was the last one?
Viability.
Anything else? Anything else for interest, data request, story on Article 10?
That'll keep us busy for a minute, I think.
I think it will. All right, is that our last snapshot? No? Oh, insurance.
Benefits.
And benefits, yeah.
It should be quick.
Okay. I've heard that before, right?
I'm gonna let that one go.
You better.
No, that one gonna feel right there.
I'm sure you'll save it for another day. Article 11, yeah. Benefits. Benefits. We're on 12, I believe. That one is 11A and 8, right? Okay. Story, her.
So we would like to discuss increasing the board contribution to health insurance.
Okay.
Don't really have a dollar amount right now, but especially with all the COVID claims and everything, I think more money into the plan is probably a good idea.
Okay. Anybody else story on insurance and benefits?
I would like to see us discuss over a 3-year period, moving the wellness incentive to $1,000. So $100 a year for the next 3 years for the wellness incentive, please.
Okay. Anything else for insurance and benefits? No?
I think we were also going to look at an increase to the group life insurance for teachers, an increase to that.
Okay. All right. Anything else? No? Anybody else over here? All right. Interest? Kevin?
I got it, ready?
Okay.
Retention and recruitment.
Yep.
Employee morale and health, and competitiveness.
Is that it? Okay. Anybody else with an interest?
I got data too, if nobody's got another interest. So data is essentially cost of things. I know we do a lot of this through ITF, but move it there, move it here, either way. So the cost of increasing life insurance by paying, like every 10 grand costs us $2. The total cost to increase the wellness incentive, $100 a year over 3 years, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So cost.
Okay. Anything else? Need to request? Any other interest? Another story? For Article 11. Kevin?
I think it's important for us to note that the decision we make in IT and we make here generally goes, across the board to every employee, from the superintendent down to the newly hired, food service worker. So, you would say this is TALC bargaining, but in reality, I think everybody benefits from the work TALC and SPOUT do related to insurance with the district.
Okay. Any other, Rob?
I think Kevin he just mentioned SPOUT also, so I want that to just be part of the brief snapshot that there's another collective bargaining unit that's impacted by all of this. And you mentioned SPOUT, so I'm good.
We may have to do a joint session about insurance stuff and look at the costs. And I haven't talked to Arlise because they don't start for a couple of weeks, and she's been in schools a lot, so I'll be briefing her tomorrow.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Any other snapshots? Kurt?
I don't know where this needs to go, but I would be very remiss if I lost this opportunity to talk to the district bargaining team about this. We've heard from testing coordinators at many of our schools, especially elementary, also heard from high, but middle and elementary, where they're not full-time positions. And we would just like, as you go into your budget cycle and allocating DRAs, look at making those positions full-time positions. As much as the governor and the state says there's less testing, there's not. And the elementary and middle testing coordinators are just drowning in the work that they're doing.
And I'm going to jump onto that with the ESOL coordinators. But I think it's incumbent on us, if we're going to do this kind of work with these two positions, and we need to have a very strategic view of it. Just because a high school has 1,900 students and another one has 1,700 students doesn't mean that the 1,900 student high school tests gives more single tests than the 1,700 student school. So I think we need to look at kind of a way to narrow in on tests given at each school to determine, because we're going to have to probably make a decision about when you get a release position if we do it at all. So I think just to make a blanket statement, like every high school above 1,800 kids gets a full-time person, but a 1,700 student high school, because of the academic makeup of the school, may give more retakes and have more total tests given than the 1,900 student school. So I think, as Mr. Burnside often says, we need to consider kind of the unintended consequences of the decisions we make here and kind of look at a strategic approach to these two items.
So which article would these two items go in?
Well, Donna, I can speak to that.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, I think they're currently supplements. So what they're talking about is removing them from supplements, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. Sure. Is that, okay, sure.
5 is general employment practices.
Right.
General concern. I don't know where it would go, Donna. We can put it at 10 if you want to put it in Article 10 with supplements. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as it's there somewhere.
Article 10 with supplements.
Okay, I'll just put it right over here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, look at full-time allocation of testing coordinator.
In ESOL.
That would be a test in supplement. She has reminded me to say only elementary and middle. So that takes 16 people out of consideration because they're already full-time.
Yeah.
Well, let me let Amy finish. It's data related.
All right.
Well, only because Kurt's statements are anecdotal. I have no reason to disbelieve him, but we're probably going to have to collect some data because I think all schools use these people differently. So we have to see if there's a need to make them full-time positions, especially with the teacher shortage.
Data request.
Use of testing and ESOL coordinators?
Yeah.
At elementary and middle. You want the high school too, or just elementary and middle? Sure. No, I know. Shannon, that's just Shannon. Go ahead, Shannon.
I was just going to clarify, in elementary, it is just a supplement. There is no allocation for testing coordinator.
Okay. So it would be under supplement, our discussion on supplements.
And anecdotally, I have heard from almost every principal the need for full-time.
Okay. That'll be a good, when we expand on the story, we'll get to that one. Jill?
It's the same at middle, it's just a supplement. There's not a full-time allocation. So I think one of the struggles that the people who are receiving that supplement have is they're struggling to manage their regular workload. And oftentimes at an elementary school, and if I'm wrong, I know there are people here who will correct me, the testing coordinator is usually a non-classroom instructional person. So it could be a school counselor or someone in one of those positions. And they already have a very intense workload. And so being the testing coordinator in addition to that starts to really become unmanageable for them and does disrupt their work life. We talked about this somewhere else, a work-life balance. And then when we talk about supplements, right now the number of additional coordinators that you get or even pay is based on number of students. And I think what we had wanted to really also be mindful of is looking at the number of, like when we talk about number of testers, because again, we have schools that have higher numbers, but they give a quarter of the test of a school that has less students because the makeup of that school. So I just wanted to clarify some of those things. So as you're pulling data, it may be difficult because it is not currently a full-time thing.
Okay. Anything else? All right, we have just done snapshots. We don't have anything else other than checkout on the agenda. Is it? Yep. Rob?
Yeah, I just, in preparation for 2 weeks from today, it'd be nice if we could at least, and we have labor management on Wednesday, but if we could be on the same page as to where we're gonna start.
Okay.
In 2 weeks.
Well, we know Article 10 will not be starting. So that's one article that we don't need to worry about. So do you want to wait and discuss that Wednesday, or do you want to discuss it here now?
Wednesday is fine.
Okay.
And we can kind of go from there and yeah, I guess either 5 or 7 would be the places to start.
And I think maybe we could talk about a joint communication on Wednesday. All right.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, Article 2 was very short as well, so I will start with Article 2.
Take our dues deduction first and then last.
Yeah, I know. All right, so with that, you're gonna work on a joint communication on Wednesday and get it out to everybody. So with checkout, how do you think our first session went? With a 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. Kurt?
5.
All right, let's see hands. I have a feeling this is going in a direction of 4 or 5. Yeah, okay, great. Thank you. Have a good evening and happy birthday, Anna.